Hello, so it is the Thursday the 22nd of February, and we are almost 1 week on from the viewing of the house, the Oh So Emotional house that I was on the market, or is on the market, that I used to live in, or on the land where it was built on, and it was an incredibly emotional time seeing it. It was absolutely amazing. I really loved it. It felt like I was going home. I was crying from the point we drove up, like towards the house. I couldn't even tell Nath which drive to go into because I was crying so much. And then going in and stuff. It was a really lovely estate agent, so she sort of was really empathetic, which was lovely. And then the owners then left a photo for me of our old bungalow, it was the bungalow they knocked down to build their own house. So I just thought that was such a sweet gesture, and that had me obviously crying again. And there was a sign up, so the front door sign of the name of the house was, they obviously kept that from our bungalow and put it in their garage. So like, it was things like that that made me feel like they really, really cared about. It wasn't just like they came in and like bulldozed a place because they didn't have any emotion. Like, they obviously have enjoyed 20 years on that piece of land, and built their dream home and really kind of respected ours. So, and ours wasn't feasible for a family to live in. Like, it needed to be knocked down, really, probably, or like extensive renovations done to it, which we were never going to do. So like, obviously no hard feelings towards them, they did the right thing. But it was just so kind of them. So I was really, really sad, and it was the nicest thing to go back and to see Heidi like enjoying the garden and kind of tiptoeing around, and she wanted to stay there longer and play, but obviously we were on a viewing, so we couldn't. But it was just really emotional. So from there we went as a family to Longdown Dairy Farm and had an amazing time. Haven't been there since I was probably less than 7, because I can't really remember it. But I remember like one vague memory of going, and I also remember getting my like bitten by a goat. I'm fairly sure I wasn't bitten, but that was where the old park area was. So like, that, where the park area is now. So that was weird because that came back to me whilst I was there. So that also had really strong memories of my dad, which is the kind of what resonated with me most at the house, because it's obviously where I grew up with him. So I it was a really like emotional, kind of heavy in a way day. And then because of that, we didn't really discuss, because I was just so overwhelmed by it. I didn't want to discuss the house that night. I knew that it would have ruined our evening, and then I would have just been crying all night in bed, or like not slept, because I would have been thinking about it. Or I would have had like a tension headache. So I said to Nath, I'd rather talk about this over the weekend. And then, to be honest, the weekend was so, like, we were so low, because it was a 3-day weekend for Nath, the first one for ages. He's been working really hard, so really needed that kind of extra day off. But then we obviously went and saw the house, which was lovely, but also I think put a bit of a cloud over us. And as he said, it's the first time where we've been like not on different pages, because I think I knew what the outcome would be, that it just wasn't feasible for us to put an offer in. But to be like not reaching the same conclusion, and to kind of agree to disagree. We don't do that ever. We're always on the same, like, we always agree in the end. So knowing that that was kind of hanging over us, me not willing to talk about it until we kind of had to at the end of the weekend, because I needed to give the estate agent feedback, and then kind of parting on those, okay, like, not happy about it. I'm really like devastated about the fact we're not going to be putting an offer in or anything, but I get it. Let's just move on and forget about it. It kind of wasn't a positive sort of note to end on, really. But we had a party on the Sunday, which was nice. So maybe we chatted on the Saturday evening, actually. I had a party on the Sunday, and then that was really nice. That was Mabel's first birthday, so my friend Roxanne, that was her little daughter's birthday, so I don't know where that year's gone. That was lovely, and the soft play was really nice, so it was lovely to see Heidi like confidently using all the stuff, kind of being a bit more brazen and bold with like standing up on the slide, and me having to train myself not to make her sit down on it, because she's like, every other child would be fine, but I hate the thought of her hurting herself. I think because she's so emotional when things go wrong, and it just ruins things, so I tend to like over smother her, which isn't fantastic. So yeah, I'm quite risk averse with them. So yeah, And then Monday we went to Heidi, Ariel and I went to ballet for Heidi, which was the session that I've been really looking forward to because I haven't been able to get Heidi into her dance class because it starts too early on a Friday morning. So we went to ballet to try it, and to be honest, Heidi said she loved it, and it was so lovely to see her little red head sort of in amongst this massive, like there must have been 20 children that were all like taller than her, so she was quite young there. But I just felt like the session wasn't very accessible because it wasn't like parents were sat around the edge and they could get involved and support and encourage if needed. But it wasn't a session for parents and children to do together. And then Heidi was just so innocent, like it was lovely to see. She got the scarves, like they all get given like the wafty scarves, the colourful ones. And in our normal class, we'd dance with those. So she started sort of dancing, but it was almost like it was wrong to dance, and she had to stay on her spot and do a certain ballet move, and she wasn't really getting it. And she didn't even know that she wasn't getting it because I didn't want to make it a thing because I didn't want to ruin her like joy of movement which she was having. And I don't know whether that comes from the fact it was ballet, so it was a technical class rather than like just creative dance. Or whether it was like the kind of environment that it was in, or the sort of ethos of the class was slightly different to what we're used to. But we've got 2 more sessions, so I'll see if it improves. But I personally, at this point, don't think it's for us. It didn't feel very kind, and like I don't feel like the lady would have remembered children's names. There was no moment where it was like, "Hi, welcome, this is my name, welcome to the class, I'll be your teacher today." There was no moment like that really. Children were all asked to stay on the spot all the time, and I thought that's a bit unreal. Like they did lots of travelling around the space and like tiptoeing and marching and things like that, but I thought for a 2.5-year-old she's not going to stay on the spot, and why should she at the end of the day? And then at the very end the teacher did this kind of, oh, Ariel's crying, she's just woken